Yo, it's Friday, van blog time, end of the week, cup of tea, hope you're well, it's Halloween. Woo. If you've got little ones, I hope you're enjoying tonight. It's precious, man, it's precious. All my children are grown up and I've seen some pictures of my grandson all dressed up out there, oblivious to all the craziness that we all get uptight about, just enjoying himself. So cool. And it reminds me of how simple life can be, really, to be fair. But anyway, I hope you're well. This is another van blog. What have I been thinking about? I haven't really spoken about Bitcoin too much for ages. And if you're not interested in Bitcoin, now's the time to just go. Just go. If you're not interested in these, just go anyway. But yeah, here's what I've realised a little bit more again this week. And that is, as we all know, and I've reflected a zillion million times, it's tough, man. It's tough. But if you, the viewer, have been invested in trying to find out what money's all about, then you kind of recognise what Bitcoin is. Now, I'm a right in between boomer, I think it's Gen X, apparently label, 65 born, which is right on the cusp of both. And probably this video really is about, well, I don't know really, actually. It is about my generation. But it's also about the millennials and the Gen Zs. Gen Zs, crikey, I'm getting with the program, aren't I? I'm learning. Because in true reality, like I've spoken about many times before, you know, it's their future, man. It's absolutely their future. And I haven't talked about Bitcoin too much, but I kind of not re-educated myself, but re-brought my mind around why I believe in Bitcoin as a thing. And I think that's a really important thing for for millennials, you know, our kids and our grandchildren, our Gen Zs, to really start getting their heads around. I know we speak a lot about gold and silver, sound money, but when you really get into the crux of it, they're all cool. It's never financial. It's absolutely no financial advice from my point of view. But when you really start to delve into it, you've got, you know, I've said this a million times, if you're really, really, really serious and you have children and you have a general concern for their future, then you can't ignore probabilities and what that future may look like. And, you know, I'm very, very, well, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, privileged really, because, you know, especially my youngest son, he's really keen on knowing, you know, what his future looks like. He knows that what inflation does, what money printing does, and he knows the downfalls of everything to a degree. He can see it when he goes to work, he can see it when he interacts with people. Pardon me, he can see it when he interacts on the internet. And he sees it, and generally, you know, all my children's visions of down the road are not a lot of hope. I can't get my head around why there isn't more talk about why the millennials, Gen Z's got no hope of, as a rule, this isn't generally, but as a rule, some people have got hope. But they're relying on their boomer parents and Gen Z, Gen X parents to give them their helping hand. But that's so wrong. It isn't right at all. It's so wrong. So I've learned to live beyond that and really try and understand what our children's and grandchildren's views are and what their concerns are. And yeah, primarily, you know, we talk about gold and silver, but it's very analog. It's very physical, which we all know, but it isn't very digital. And if we look forward, and yeah, there's loads of people that turn and say, yeah, I'm really concerned about the digital age, and it could be this, it could be that, and it could be hacked, and it could be this. Oh, no different to what anything can be nowadays. But going forward, you know, we're going into a very digital world, so Bitcoin's got a massive role to play in this. And I'm sure all the boys' clubs and the institute know all this anyway. And I really hope that people that are into their precious metals understand that Bitcoin has a more potential going forward. And the lights go out, which is very typical of night time, or should be more aware of the potential of what Bitcoin can provide for our children and our grandchildren going forward. And I don't think you should, you know, any of us should be ignoring that, which I haven't personally. The community that I have been involved with always talk it like it's crypto. Yeah, it is crypto in a way, but it isn't like all the gambling crypto coins that are out there. If you do your homework, you'll see for yourself. I think it's really underestimated. I think that probably a lot of the gold and silver guys that are promoting their gold and silver very rarely talk about it. That's for two reasons. Either very naive and they don't want to talk about it because it affects whatever they're trying to do around the precious metals market, or they just don't know, and they're so one-sided in their mind's view, which I don't personally think is very healthy. If it wasn't for Bitcoin, I wouldn't have understood about gold. I wouldn't have got into gold. I wouldn't have got into silver. And vice versa, you know. They're all one of the same thing. We're all trying to preserve our wealth. And, you know, we live in a very analog world, albeit the money and the fiat side and the currency side is very digital. But everyone ignores that. So the natural possession would be, or possession would be, you know, we're going to go more digital. We're not going to go back to, well, maybe we will, but I can't see it. I can't see my kids being in that world, or my grandchildren being in that. They're going to be in a very digital world. And to ignore that, from my point of view, is very naive. It's stupid, in fact. That's burying head in sand, and maybe missing out on opportunities that, yeah, I'll probably see some benefit from. Well, I have, to be fair. But also thinking about my children and my grandchildren. I can't just see an analog world, a physical world. I can see a digital world, and which is why, you know, I need to speak about Bitcoin a little bit more. We need to educate ourselves a little bit, you know, and then we can educate and protect our children more. You know, about self-custody. You know, we all go on about, well, it's my gold, I keep it safe, I hold it. You can do that in a digital way as well. I think it's so naive to just brush it to one side because of your own narratives. It's mad. It's mad, mad, mad. So yeah, I'm going to bring that digital world back into my blogs and chats. I'm not going to ram it down anyone's throats because everyone's got the choice not to listen. But I'm just going to bring it back and talk about it and try and hopefully, especially you gold bugs that watch, that are in the community, if you understand gold, you will so understand Bitcoin and you will see its true value. It's early days at the moment. It's very early. People need to get their heads out of, oh, I can't afford it. Well, if that's the case, you probably can't afford gold either. But we all can, you know. You can buy fractional Bitcoin. So much easier than fractional gold and silver. It's all so much easier, and it's getting easier. And you can self-custody it, and the technology's changing all the time to make that better. So you can be sort of anonymous if you can be bothered to learn about it. Gets back to that learning thing again. But it's their future, man. Pardon me. We need to educate these generations, or not, but implore people to educate your generations that are going to be there, a part of it. Because if we don't, then we're just going to hand over all that wealth and potential to institutions and governments to just do what they need to, what they want to do, which is fine. That's fair enough. Why do we make it easy though? We've got a chance here, guys, a real good chance, and it'll take time. We can all see it. The writing's on the wall. It doesn't matter what you're into. So why ignore the obvious? Why? Other than for self-gain. If you're into the self-gain influence-y type thing, then great. This video is not for you. But if you're not and you genuinely want to make a difference to your children or generations after you, then go on the learning curve, man. It's really cool. I'm well excited about their future. I'm also very concerned about their future too. It's a worry, but that's why dads exist. That's why mums exist. That's why parents exist. You know, to find a way and educate and pave the way. Literally paved the way for our children and our grandchildren, because no one else is going to do it, are they? It's important not to ignore all this stuff. Yep, I haven't got a crystal ball, as I've said a zillion million times. We know that. But that's not an excuse. That just is no excuse. The educational route is free. It really is free. So yeah, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin a little bit more going forward. I'm not going to talk about price, because I truly believe it's just a red herring at the moment. We need to look beyond the prices of everything. If we believe that our monetary system's up the wall and collapsing, you can't even put a price on any of that. In dollars, pounds, whatever, euros, yuan, rubles, rubies, whatever. Can't put a price on that. If it's collapsing, it's collapsing. If it's devaluing, it's devaluing. So the art is to find and educate ourselves on the potential of stuff that can protect yourself against that, and that isn't just purely solely going down a physical route is dumb in my eyes. It's good, it's a good idea, but it's dumb. It's dumb because you're ignoring something that has a high probability of being something. And that ignorance will be possibly our downfall. And we'll just go full circle and end up going, it's unfair. When we've all had that opportunity at a very early stage to get on board something that may have a big effect on making our kids and our grandchildren's futures very different. Can't ignore that one. Personally, I love them too much, man. I love them too much. And I love the young guy. The young guys, they deserve a better deal than what they're getting. They deserve a better future. They deserve a potential if they want to invest their time and energy into having kind of life I've had. And for you, early Gen X's and boomers have enjoyed. Our kids deserve that, man. They really do deserve that. And it's an injustice if we ignore it as parents, influencers. Because you guys out there, you influencers, you bloody well know, you know. And if you don't know, shame on you, man. Shame on you for not sharing that information. Mad. Absolutely mad. Anyway, that's it. 20 minutes in. That's another blog done. Take good care of yourselves. Have a really good weekend. I've got a really good weekend in front of me. God, I've got some leaves to pick up from all these trees that are, bless them, shedding their leaves. Garden's looking a complete tip. But that's what it does this time of year. Have a good Halloween. All you little youngsters out there that are enjoying the Halloween festive spirit, go for it. Well done, you parents, for letting your young uns enjoy themselves and keep them innocent. But don't forget, they've got a future, and don't bury your head in the sands, guys. Don't, or do it. It's up to you, obviously. But if you've got that opportunity to just put your own wants to one side and just give up a bit of time to educate yourselves, then yeah, fair play and good luck to you. Take good care. See you soon. Bye.